I was consistently reminding myself, you are out of funding for school. You've exceeded your federal Pell Grants, and all your student loans are exhausted. You are $50,000 in debt. Like the time when I failed my engineering boards exam, I was devastated, torn, and felt like giving up. Who fails a test that they spend 5 years studying for? There is no way I can let myself fail now. After all, what kind of example would I be setting for my young son? The second time I took the 6-hour test, I didn't get to answer every question. It crushed me to think that I failed again. Nicole was the first phone call I made after leaving the test. She told me it would be okay to be upset for a day, and tomorrow we'd move forward. However, that opportunity never came because I received the glorious news last Thursday. I passed that test. Watching that video puts tears in my eyes, tears of joy, of accomplishment, and of realization that I found my self-power. You have heard a lot today about the moment when Project Self-Sufficiency participants experienced self-power for the first time. That moment for me occurred just before this event last year. I had just passed my board exam, and I had the opportunity to share my excitement with many of you who are here again this year. And my excitement doesn't end there. After last year's luncheon, I had 9 people leave me networking contacts for the engineering field. I went on many informational interviews to see what kind of prospective companies I wanted to work for. I wanted to say thank you for that. At first, I was really intimidated while applying for employment. All of my other peers had previous internship experiences. Many of their family members were educated and already engineers, and they had a tremendous support system around them. I, on the other hand, was 10 years older than most of them, had no family support system, and was a first-time graduate, not only from high school, but from college. And I was not confident in referring to myself as an engineer. But every time I started to doubt myself, I remembered that moment when I uncovered my self-power. That moment where I knew I was capable. I had done all the hard work, and I was not going to settle for anything less than exactly what I had worked for. Even better than uncovering and embracing my own self-power is knowing that my son Evan has been watching me and learning this entire time. As I was preparing for the speech, I asked him what he has learned since his mommy went back to college. His words took my breath away. He said that sometimes he saw me cry because things were hard. That was really tough on him, but that I showed him how to persevere and how to never give up. He even said he wants to go to college now so he can too have a brighter future. I made the decision to go back to school because I had a dream. I had noticed that people around me drank clean water freely, without a thought or even an appreciation of what it means to have water readily available at any and every given moment. I knew that this was not the case for everyone, and it made me want to do something. I knew there are people around the world who were dying without water. They were without the potable water that they needed to survive, and I wasn't going to sit around and allow that to continue. I felt a pull in the depths of my heart to do something, and that is my dream. After I graduated, I looked into companies that were hiring that would further shape my credentials and my education and keep me on track to fulfilling my lifelong dream. I'm so proud to say that I have a job with a wonderful company, CDM Smith, who works with the industry of producing clean water around the world. One of the highlights of working with CDM Smith is that they encourage and support me, both financially and educationally, to work with Engineers Without Borders. This nonprofit organization sends engineers to other countries to help engineer water systems for people in need. I don't know many people out of college who get the opportunity to brag that they've landed their dream job, but I get to do that every morning. I feel so blessed that I've always wanted more, that I've never given up, and that I found such a wonderful community within Project Self-Sufficiency who has believed in me and helped me uncover my self-power. This room is filled with single parents who are striving toward that exact goal. Many of them are still searching for their self-power, and some of them have already found it. Nothing will stop them. Today, each of you have the opportunity to help Project Self-Sufficiency continue with our goal of bringing the power and the promise of education to single parents who want to become self-sufficient. Your support will allow Project Self-Sufficiency to encourage parents who are as motivated as I was to get out of poverty and uncover the power within themselves to do amazing things for our world today and in many generations to come. Your table hosts are going to hand out an envelope for each of you to put in a donation if you would like. Please fill out the envelope and return it to your captain before you leave today. Thank you so much for joining us, for allowing us to share our stories with you, and for most of all, for supporting us, for supporting Project Self-Sufficiency and the amazing work they have done for the last 31 years, and will continue to do so for many, many more. Table hosts, please pass out the envelopes. Thank you.